YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Monster Dre, and today we're going to be talking about how to be dominant under pressure. So, one of the things to be aware of when you're learning how to become dominant under pressure is to be proactive instead of reactive. So, you're going to deal with a lot of things in your life that's going to cause you to want to be reactive in this situation, whether it's an altercation with a girlfriend, whether it's a car accident, whether it's you paying bills. A lot of stuff's going to happen into your life that's going to try and get a reaction out of you. And you, as a high value male or inspired to be a high value male, have to learn how to be dominant and take control of you have to mentally take control of the situation before you act. You have to think before you act, and you have to learn how to utilize that to your advantage, because there's a lot of things that can happen to you within that altercation period that's going to either cause you to lose your life, be incarcerated, or cause you to have additional problems and consequences after that altercation that you don't want for yourself. I was listening to a lot of motivational speakers, and one of the quotes from one of the motivational speakers was that a 5-second nigga moment could ruin your whole life. It can. For a 5-second altercation moment can ruin your life because you were simply being reactive instead of proactive about the situation. You can't go be a reactive person in society. Like, society is not that, because you're going to be labeled, you're going to be criticized, you're going to be discouraged, and you're going to be looked down upon because you do not know how to control your emotions. You are constantly come out of character with every interaction or whatever conversation that doesn't go your way. You can't be one of those types of people. So the next one is respond to a conversation or situation at your own pace. So when you're having a conversation, you, just because somebody's talking to you and waiting for your response, they're waiting for your response. They're waiting for you. And you have to be dominant about the conversation and take your time with it. Because what you say, you can't take that back. No matter what you do, once you put your words out into the world, you can't take those words back. So you have to think carefully, and you have to think logically and effectively about what you say and what you put out into the world. So take your time with conversations. You don't have to respond as fast as the next person just because they want you to respond quickly. They may hit you with one of these, like, well, I'm waiting, why haven't you responded yet? You know what I'm saying? And you could tell them, yo, I'm thinking, give me a second. And if they can't respect it, then you don't need to be having a conversation with somebody that can't respect your time and respect the fact that you're trying to give them the best possible response or answer to whatever the conversation may entail. So take your time, man. You don't have to rush things just because other people want you to rush things. They're gonna have to wait. Your time is valuable. Your time is important. They're gonna have to wait. Do not be easily provoked into acting reckless or out of character or out of your masculine frame. You can't, like I said, you cannot afford to make irrational decisions. You cannot afford to make irrational calls and stuff like that. You can't be coming out of character. If you feel like you're coming out of character for any reason, you go take a walk, go for a drive, go get peace of mind. Do whatever you gotta do and hit them with one of these. Yo, I'm not mentally, or no, you ain't even gotta say that. Just tell them, yo, can we have this discussion another time, or I'll get back to you, or you know what I'm saying? So that way you can develop a better peace of mind to provide a better answer for the conversation. You can't be coming out of character, man. If you feel like you cannot go out in public, you cannot go into the real world having that out of character mindset, because now people are going to look at you like, oh, he's irrational, oh, he doesn't know how to make proper decisions, he's unreliable, and you don't want to portray yourself off in the world as a liability. Instead of, you always want to be an asset. You always want to be the supply to somebody's demand when it comes to a business point of view, because it promotes better opportunities for you in the future. Because even when you think that people aren't looking, or if you feel like people aren't looking, they're always looking. They're always looking. So never give yourself that delusion that, oh, I could just come out of pocket or I could just say whatever or do whatever and there's not going to be any repercussions for it if it's negative. Like nah, bro, everybody's looking. Because if you inspire to be high value, learning how to be dominant under pressure and learning how to be able to conversate with people is going to let people see the value and potential that you're trying to portray. Sorry. So move slowly at a calm and collective pace. Move at your own pace. And when I say that, I mean that you have to move at your own speed. Everybody's speed is different. Everybody hits a success level at different point in times in their lives. So just because you see a person going off and they're on the come up right now and they're taking off, good for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you cannot be looking at other people's success while trying to obtain your own success, because you're never going to be satisfied. You're already never going to be satisfied, because as a high value individual, you're going to always be ambitious and you're always going to be chasing the next goal and the next obstacle in your life to achieve what you want in life. So you're never going to be satisfied. So do not compare your success to other people's success. Stay in your lane. Don't be looking at other people's lanes just because they going off and doing their own thing. You got to focus on your lane, bro. And the only way that you're going to master your craft and help yourself become the best version of yourself is by taking your time. Is by staying motivated, staying ambitious, staying passionate, and working on your dreams, goals, and aspirations every day. Because what one person's dreams and aspirations and goals may be, that might not be the same for you. So why are you trying to compare your lane to somebody else's lane that might not even have the same type of values and the same type of ambition as you? Who cares? Like, bro, you are so valuable, but you are only as valuable as what you portray. You're only as valuable as like you're valuable in itself. But for other people to see your value, you have to portray your value. You have to be the person and manifest that type of person that you want to be, that other people are going to see and respect. But that first comes with seeing yourself as that person. That comes from envisioning it and then embodying it. So you have to have respect for yourself. You have to love yourself enough to be able to convince and make other people believe in what you are trying to manifest yourself out to be. And that stuff takes time. That it is what it is. Next one. Research all your enemies. So the reason I say research all your enemies is because a lot of people are going to try you. A lot of people are going to call your bluff. A lot of people are going to belittle you, and they're going to try to make you feel less than how you portray yourself out to be because of your shortcomings and all this other stuff, and be like, well, you can't do this because, or I don't feel like you should have a right to say or have an opinion about certain things because this, that, and that, and that and the third. And to be honest, those people, you can limit as much negativity and bad criticism as you want, but those people are always going to be there when it comes to life. Those people are always going to be there. So you, as a high value individual, being dominant under a pressuring situation like that, you could just be like, okay, take it for what it is, or hear them out and be like, well, don't you have shortcomings? And you can use their shortcomings against them in a conversation, and use that conversation, learn how to articulate your words and use that conversation or that altercation to your advantage. Don't just go into a conversation without knowing who you're talking to. You got to know your audience. You can't just be out here talking to people without having background information. You can't just be out here talking or making business deals with people that you have no information about, because that's not going to benefit you. If anything, that's going to hurt you, because you don't have enough information about this business, about this job, about this person, to the point where you can support yourself if need be. So always do your research on your enemies. Always do your research on anybody you talk to. Not saying be a stalker, but just like pick up on social cues and learn who they are and what they're about. Because people are going to tell you, bro, all you have to do is listen. People are going to tell you everything you want. Their plans, their how they see you, and what type of person they are, just by listening. You want to be a good listener. You don't want to just be right off the mouth talking, spilling all your business, because I guarantee you, the person that's listening to you spill all your business is doing the same thing. So I'd rather be a good listener and just listen to all your plans and how you see me and how you view me, and be like, okay, roger that. And so that way you can learn how to move accordingly with these types of people, whether it's somebody that you know or somebody that you're just now meeting. That strategy could be, you could use that to your advantage in any type of situation, in any type of scenario, because it can, even though you are cool with somebody, or it can be your own people that could turn over and stab you in the back, your own people, and you wouldn't even know it was that type of, it was the person closest to you, because you were so worried about telling them your business, or you had so much trust in them to the point where you just felt like you could just say anything and everything around this person and there wouldn't be no repercussions. Now you gotta know your audience. So next one, look at everything as if it was a business deal. So what I mean by that is, when you look at things from a business point of view, you start to move, and you start to think differently, and you start to articulate your words in a different way than the average person. Because when you're having a conversation with people, you don't just have conversations with them to see what you can get out of them or see their business potential out of them. No, you have conversations with people, and you just be doing your thing. You want to have a conversation with people not just based off of what they can provide for you, but also for your own pleasure and enjoyment. Because I'm not gonna be on here saying, oh, if they're not talking about money, or if they're not talking about business opportunities, then you just can't talk to them. But no, because there's certain family members and friends that you have that aren't going to have the same business mindset as you. But what I am saying is, when you know your audience, when you know when you pick up on social cues and you know the situation and environment you're in, whether it's a family situation or a friend situation or a business opportunity, you know how to articulate your words, and you know how to use the conversation to your advantage. So that's another thing. You gotta know how to differentiate between friends, family, and business. A lot of people mix their personal life and their business life together. A lot of coworkers will talk to their bosses as if they friends and they cool and stuff like that. In some cases, that may be cool, that may be great, that may be beneficial for that particular relationship. But I'm telling you, most cases, when it comes to business, they talking about paper, they talking about business. They don't want to know what you got going on in your personal life. Then we ask you yo, how is everything going, for small talk or whatever. But at the end of the day, they about their money, and you should be too. So never show your true emotions in public, always behind closed doors. You can't like I said, you can't be out here being perceived as irrational, illogical, and just making poor decisions because you're so reactive in the public eye. If you like I said, if you feel the need to be reactive, or if you feel like, okay, this conversation or this situation is too reactive for me, I need to step back, do something proactive. I need to either write it down in a journal or take a walk or do something that's going to benefit you. Because I'm telling you, you don't want to be in that 5-second nigga moment, bro. That 5-second nigga moment has gotten people killed, has gotten people in jail, has ended relationships and all this other stuff, to the point where it didn't even need to get to that point. You don't want to be put in that situation. So take the time that you need, and then re-tackle and readjust, reset your sights, and then execute on the situation. You do what's best for you. So never apologize for your actions or decisions, because if you think hard before you act, believing that it is the right decision or action, you will never have to feel guilty for it, thus apologizing for it. So if it's something positive and you consciously and subconsciously thought about it before acting upon it or before addressing the situation, if it's something positive and you actually helped the situation and the situation was actually more beneficial because of your impact in this situation or conversation, then you should not have to apologize, because most people are going to have a negative viewpoint. Most people are going to have a negative opinion, and not everybody's going to be supportive of how you tackle each and every situation that you come across. Like, let's say for instance, you have this friend, and your friend has another friend. Y'all tagging together, but the other friend's not really your friend. It's more like a person that you know, like an associate or whatever. And you help out your friend, you help out the person closest to you, and the third party person, they could have a negative opinion and be like, oh, I feel like you shouldn't have said this, or I feel like you shouldn't have done whatever. But that just goes to show you, not everybody's going to agree with how you handle each and every situation. And at that point, bro, if you handled the situation and if it was positive and if it was benefiting to the conversation or whatever it was, bro, fuck them. Like, you don't need to be out here people pleasing. Like, everything you do is not going to be supported by everybody. Everything you do is not going to get praised by everybody, even though it's positive. So once you create that mindset, and when you gain that knowledge and understanding that, okay, even though I feel like this is the right thing to do, and you truly believe it, and you thought about it subconsciously and consciously and executed based off of your own belief, and somebody doesn't, it's irrelevant. Their opinion is irrelevant. Like, and that's what most people don't understand. Most people's opinions are irrelevant. Last thing. If you do not improve to be this cutthroat, calm, collected person, it just won't work out for you. You can't go into a conversation or situation, or you can't go through life in general with a beta mindset. And what I mean by that, with that blue pill rage. Like you can't handle if she cheated on you, or you can't handle all the stuff that's going around you with your friends, family, and social life. You can't. At some point in time in your life, you're going to have to establish a version of yourself that's going to be able to have to properly manage social interactions and interactions with others. So if you have to take a public speaking course, if you have to think before talk, or if you have to learn those certain strategies to be able to be a functioning social member of society, then that's the time that you're going to have to take for yourself. But it all starts with you. The hard work, the dedication, all that starts with you. Nobody's going to do it for you, and nobody's going to feel sorry for you that you don't have these social skills. You feel me? So that's all I'm going to say about the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.